Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to wherever you are. Welcome to the full moon ritual. And in this case, we are going to channel in the energy of full moon in Cancer that has just recently passed for the past couple of days. And in case if you haven't, you know, if this is your first time watching this full moon ritual live or on video, I want to introduce myself. My name is Cez Villanueva, the creatrix of the Estuary Moments. The Estuary Moments is a budding enterprise, a budding intuitive development enterprise that focuses on helping people, mostly border walkers who are visionary architects, lifelong learners, visionaries, and other way showers to own their own calling and diverge away from the eager beaver way of life, owning their dreams, and supporting them to getting through the threshold and crossroads to stay in their own purpose and calling and sacred work that they're called to embody and invest in and keep investing in. So that is part of what the Stray Moments is all about, and my aim as the creatrix and founder and creative force behind it is to guide these folks through intuitive card readings and eventually in the near future spiritual accompaniment and coaching to support them in becoming a living estuary moment in their life from a place of love and freedom as they're owning their border worker ways and focus on actions and ways of being that bring aliveness and legacy in this world as a result of living out their calling and their truth. In case if you don't know what an estuary is, it is basically an enclosed body of water that forms where the rivers meets the seas, or in this case the oceans, creating unique ecosystems that provide great nesting grounds, filters out pollutants, and supports diversities of species. And we're going to do a full moon card ritual to unveil the estuary moments and energies that are rising during the full moon of Cancer, which has been, while it's passed, but the effects of energy still remain as we are in the Mercury retrograde. And so we want to check in. And we're going to start with, if you could join, you're invited to join along, but this is part of the ritual of releasing. And maybe we can and do a simple like ritual that's done before, but it's good to do it again. And this releasing ritual to start the new year it is the is sweeping of the arms. Um, and in the sweeping of the arms, we're just like put your hand on one side and the other, and then put on the and for the other. So we're gonna do this for about a minute as to ground us and to release what's here. And imagine if you are releasing an moment. So we're gonna keep throughout a minute. And you can go this fast, so we can do this fast, like just before my hair, fasting to settle your nervous system down a little bit, because even though full moon Cancer is past a bit, the energy is still powerful. and what it has to say. And this is on during Aquarius season, during Aquarius as well. So so that's where we're gonna go today. Now, a few 10 more seconds, and you can go this fast or slow. I'm doing this really slow. And do one more arm sweep on this side, and do this on the other side. And we now are done. And it'll take a little pause here. And now for the ritual of receiving, we're going to do a breath 4 counts, breathing in 4 counts, holding 4 counts, and breathing out 4 counts. And we'll do it like 3 times just to move and see what it's like to receive and to receive fulfillment in breathing in, breathing out. So it's just nothing to do. We could do breathe in 4 counts. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. Breathe. Hold it. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 4, and then give pause for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now breathe in again. 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now pause. Now for one more breathe in on 4 counts. 1. Now pause for 4 counts. And now breathe out for 4 counts. And now pause for 4 counts. So now that we settle down a little bit, we can, get into our reading for today. And we're going to start with the Estuary moment and let's see what Estuary moments are now present in this full moon of Cancer, or what was this for most that was present during this full moon of Cancer. And I'm taking the Earth card, the Moon Earth Oracle, for answering this question. For me, hence So, what extremes are rising during the full moon of Cancer? So, let's see. We'll pick 3 cards. Dreams. Pass. So, what extremes are rising? And here are the 3 cards, and I'm using my oracle, the Earth Oracle deck. Stillness. Um, dreams. And path. Path. This is pretty. What's our writing are moments of stillness and going into the dream world and going to the subconscious dream world and calling for the path. And I'm just gonna drink this. Calling for the pathway, and this looks like rocks, the river, and then walking through the pathway. There's no really particular order. They're all connected, but there's no order per se. But they're all. It's like it's simultaneous to me. What the Estuary Moments is really Estuary of stillness and slowing down, of looking at unconscious memories and dreams and worlds within worlds are showing up, and the pathway. And this is my own, like, what's coming through me, and it's like is like there's a call to slow the hell down and give yourself space to see what's showing up and what paths are being shown up and what's also coming up. So what the Estuary Moments is like, it looks like, especially with dreams and with what I'm feeling with the deer, like there's the world on the, it's like a world within a world, and then there's a world within the world, like situation is that there is more realities that are and experiences that are being revealed or shown to during this full moon of Cancer, that there is a convergence of multiple worlds coming, uh, like layers within worlds, external worlds and worlds within, but it requires creating time of stillness to really see those worlds, and those worlds will give you an idea of what kind of paths are in existence. So what's the what it's pretty straightforward in this one. It's like this Cancer full moon, the Estuary Moments of is that there are worlds of worlds being unveiling, and then it starts with taking, like, embracing the period of stillness and let those worlds and those dreams and those things and come up and just observe those things, observe like multiple phenomenons, as you are either finding your path, or through those things you'll see a path, as you are on walking on your path, and on your path, like, you give yourself moments of stillness. So there's 2 ways. One is calling for stillness and calling for worlds, and also for the path. And it can either interpret it as, there's many ways you can look at this. You can either look like this is happening while you're on a path, or it's through letting the stillness where the path is revealed to you. And so there is this going on of calling for stillness and worlds, in honoring either your path or honoring the fact that a path will show up, and not make a story about your path. So there is that. part of what the Estuary Moments is unveiling is this call to slow the hell down and look at these multiple phenomena, multiple dreams that are coming in. And as you're in, you will see that you're either, for those who are clear on a path, to either reaffirm or get you back on course, or it meant that there's a path that's revealed to you that you could just try. So that's part of the Estuary moment that we need to all like take in for a moment. So this is the first part is what streamers are being unveiled or being shown that are happening during the full moon of Cancer. That's called the stillness and on during multiple dreams. And so that's finished with that part of using the earth. And now I'm going to use the tarot for what is called to be released and what fulfillment and completions are now occurring in this full moon. What is called to be released, and what fulfillment, sense of fulfillment and completion is showing up. So first, I'm going to start with what is going to be cleared and released. So I'm gonna work on so two more shuffles. So I'll call in about 4 cards. Just like for what to release. Then this is like what to release. Oh, this is here's 4 of these. 6 of Cups. The Wild Unknown deck. 6 of Cups. The World. So this is the World card. The last of the deck. Actually not. The last of the Major Arcana, sorry. The Ace of Cups. And the Temperament and the Temperance card. There isn't a story per se. I mean, so much as more that there's a mood. The mood is more like the general mood of all these cards is like about balance. That's all the good stuff, but this case is is what's called to release is is breaking the box of out of it's more like releasing the need to not only be your comforter, but the binary between comfort and discomfort is what I'm feeling, because all of it is about balance and starting, starting emotional sphere and, a form of balance again, but which is inner child related, nostalgia, emotional balance through healing inner child, a return of innocence, six of six of cups, like rerouting yourself again from an emotional place. The whole is to complete a lesson, but this is more like what's called to be released is three levels. One is the addiction to comfort zone, but it also means releasing the binary between comfort and discomfort, and dealing with the addiction to comfort to villainizing comfort. That's the one layer. And the other layer is also like, as you are moving, not only being so in your comfort zone that you forget the medicine of discomfort. It's through getting out of your comfort zone requires, ironically, a different way of getting out of it is not through demonizing comfort zone. Is realizing is it the only choice, right? Because not all comforts are bad. Is it supportive for your flourishing involved at that moment? And if it's not, even if it's a good thing, then maybe you can lay off the comfort zone and figure out what is flourishing you. And that might require discomfort. That might recover discomfort. But it's more like this energy of not get too comfortable with comfort zone, but in order to be comfortable with the medicine discomfort, it's not through villainizing comfort, but rather is real like the question is what is actually flourishing at this moment, and is comfort a flourishing moment right now? And if it's not, then that's fine. If you realize you need comfort, but not this type of comfort, then that's fine. So part of it is there's this addition to complacent kind of comfort, but ironically to learn the medicine of being out of your comfort zone, it's not through demonizing comfort, is really the question of what is honoring your overall flourishing and flourishing for others, and including flourishing for yourself, including the flourishing of your whole being at that moment. Like, what is gives you a greater chance of flourishing, even if it's not flourishing right now, is what's going to determine how you're going to get out of your comfort zone. Because it's probably not because comfort's bad, it's just that it just isn't the right thing. So that's what's coming through. But as I am sensing, that's the kind going through me as we're talking about comfort zone and discomfort and how to change it. It's also saying that also release things that also not are not support you in completing a cycle. That is not supporting you in completing a cycle. Because first you gotta understand what is discomfort, and as you learn, you're also realizing like how letting yourself gives a way to move through completing a cycle of things. What are things that are not that cycles. And that's something to think about. But the trick is not to demonize the limbo in the name of completing the cycle, is what it looks like to me. So it's more, it's, this is like interesting because there's nothing like a blatantly bad. It's not about releasing something bad. It's like releasing the more immature notions of comfort and discomfort, as well as for the importance of asking yourself to complete a cycle, but also a more expanded way of doing it. And that's not demonizing the limbo, it's not demonizing the detours or the imbalance, it demonizes the dissonance, because it's all because that's where it seems to go, is that there's a much more wider landscape of, because there is a dissonance. It's not the demon. It's to tell you like, okay, where can you buy in resonance again? And that's when you can start like having some space in completing the cycles of things, or what is called to completion, or that sort of thing. And that's just a theme. There isn't like, there's no point. It's just like it's just giving me a theme of two things, of not be so stuck in comfort zone that you don't see the medicine on a comfort zone. But yet the paradox is that to embrace the medicine comes is not to make the comfort bad or lesser than. It's rather ask yourself what is flourishing at the moment. What is helping all parts of you flourish, and what parts of relationships with others flourish that allows you and the other person to flourish. That's really what it comes down to. And as you're learning to flourish, you also are learning to create completions and resolutions, but it's not through demonizing dissonances. It's to create resonance and see what the dissonance has to say, so that it can teach you how to be resonant, which is really what's coming through. As well as you are learning, and you're also learning at different levels. So this is just a theme of really maturing one's understanding of discomfort and governance and growing out of your comfort zone to grow and think more about flourishing, and not get stuck in a more limited and reductionist point of view of how to get it out of your comfort zone and seek fulfillment, which is really the deep question of what is flourishing. How does be out of my comfort zone? Seriously, that also means what comforts are supportive of my flourishing in all the ways. You know, not necessarily demonizing comfort. Like you don't want to be so into it, but it's ironically not demonizing it. And as you're learning, you also are starting to unveil like what are the dissonances there, and then what does it mean? Tell me about resonances. What is resonant? And as I look into resonance, what does it mean? Resonance mean when as what does resonance and what how does it play about in creating resolutions and creating completions and fulfillment? So that's that. That's what's channeled through for what to release, really. So now I am gonna go through what completions, what what sense of fulfillment and completions are coming through this full moon. So completions are happening as we are. Mm-hmm. Empress. So it's Three of Wands. Looks like a triangle, like upside down triangle. Two of Cups. Two of Cups. Ace of Wands. And the Empress. The Empress of fertility, the energy, and ooh, this is like nurturing energy, the creative force. No, really storyline. There's the overall collective vibe of the three. It's the Two of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Empress. The Empress leading this energy is this. What's coming to completion? What is calling to completion around is around creativity, around inner union within the union with all parts of ourselves and within others through creativity, through be led with spirit and stepping into aligned devotional action and vision. Like that is the feeling of this, and this is a lot of fire and earth related stuff right now. It's basically what's occurring is this big through tapping into divine creativity, to divine sensuality and sensual intelligence, and including like the power of the Empress, and and tapping into the creative spark and spirit and being in devotional action, uh, and visioning it, and devotional action, and having that devotional be aligned with a deep vision. You create space for honoring parts of yourself and parts of other people and giving them permission. What's occurring is this wave of creative energy that's like of honoring the deep of creative power, like, and this is like the Empress card with this beautiful tree with this pink tree and the moon is this mother energy. This is the regal queendom energy and power of queendom that is nurturing your fire, nurturing your vision. What's occurring, what completion is, that there is life force that's nurturing, a queendom life force that's nurturing the fire in this fire, and that fire is sparking your vision. And that sparking vision gives you in seeing aligned action, matching the vision. And as your imagination, you're discovering and welcoming parts of yourself, and being in relationships and to others and within yourself that are more supported, are more liberating. And what's occurring is this call for that. And but that starts with tapping into like the tree, like this emperor is like tap into the power of Gaia and the power of the power of the earth and the power of life force, and holding that life force and in the body, and the deep creativity, and allow that creativity to flow through you to liven your power and vision, and this thing. And there's a lot of creativity, and there's also a lot of aligned action. It's as well, and a lot of like uniting oneself, like, and as the two of cups, like two cups, like with the roses crossing. And I'm just gonna drink my water right now. Is union. It's what are part that are being compartmentalized that need to work together. Like as you're harnessing this creativity, it's also calling like parts of ourselves that are coming together in this estuary moment. Like what are completions? It means parts of yourselves are coming together, and parts of yourselves are all like working together within yourself, as well as parts of relationships. What are coming together and are called to come together, and you know, this is pretty smooth. I mean, because we just went to Aquarius, and this is not a coincidence because like the full moon of Cancer is about, the feeling, the mother energy of Cancer. It's also the energy of the moon, and the cycles and the rhythms, and also like the life intelligence of the cycles and rivers, and how are we honoring those things. And so it's like, and yes, it is like emotional, and then you get tired, and I was tired during my full moon, during the when the full moon happened, and I was like during in my period, and I'm like I was in my moon cycle while this moon is happening. I'm tired as heck. But there's this energy of like honoring parts of ourselves that are always been there, but now they're ready to be showing up, and and honoring that part, and honoring this part, and what parts of yourself are called to honor as now across a form of completion, as you are tapping to this not just motherly energy, but also this creative force, this creative force that is just channeling through us, that is channeling not only through us, but being impacted by creative forces around us, and that we can tap into, that we can feel and interact with. So how do we, channel that? How do we, you know, you know, channel that? How do we honor that? How do we, you know, honor that spirit? Yeah, and this is a pretty, there is no narrative. It's just themes of energy, like this one, because it's just about being present to around us level, just be present to the cycle. And this is like, it's, what's bringing up for me? It's bringing up like the how to nurture our creativity more, and how do we do that when there's many forces, systemic forces within ourselves, and in our interactions that doesn't allow not only creativity, but also allow us to take aligned actions that suppress that creativity, because even if it is even logical, it may get people, even if it ends up being logical after all without looking like it can be scary because of implications that comes with honoring yourself, that comes with just being empowered with your creativity, that a lot of people are not ready, that you may not be ready for. And it's not that they're bad, but it meant, you know, the discomfort of status quo could be an issue that may not be ready for. So that's also to consider. So what's occurring in this moment of what fulfillment and completions of occurring is that there is this call to tap into deep creativity and nurturing your spirit. And as you're nurturing your spirit, let the vision come to life, and then invite and draw, and let the spirit also tell you what aligned actions that are aligned with the vision, you know and all that. And as you do, then you'll find like honoring parts of yourself and adventure. So that is what's coming up at this point. This is just this creativity and honoring the primordial feminine to inspire you in that. So, and the earth and the life force that's between us and within you. So that's what it feels like to me. Like, and that is it for like what fulfillment and completions are now occurring. So now let's see, what can you take away? Which I'm using the moon cards, my little astrological moons and gems to carry with you and all this. Number one. Required. Ooh. Ooh, you crossed achieving your goal. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Three cards. Now is the third quarter moon. Cheat adjustments are required. The new moon of Cancer card. It's you and your loved ones are safe. And last but not least, you're very close to achieving your goal, which is a gibbous moon. New moon and we're in full moon Cancer. New moon of Cancer is not it. Not it at all. But what's coming up, even though the words your elements are safe, I'm not sure about that one, transparently. But what's coming up is the importance of adjustment and the importance of what's coming up with the gibbous, the blues, and there's a lot of that. And I mean, you got New Moon and Cancer. Is this um is this really call for like it's more about how do you become a match to what you're desiring. But that would require like be open to experimentation and as you're open to experimentation, how are you making sure that you have a sense of safe and cultivate a deep sense of safety, not just for the good stuff, but also for your wounds too. And because how you you know you know what risk can you take, or what level of comfort can you take, as well as the comfort of your loved ones and yourself. What how are you able to calibrate through your example, through your energy, your you know group, and how you're doing that. Like this is the feeling. Like even though those are the words adjustments are required for just third quarter moon card. The card is you and your loved ones were just a new moon of Cancer, and the gibbous moon. It's just you're close to achieving your goal. But the new moon Cancer thing, and we're in full moon of Cancer, we just past full moon of Cancer, which but this is relevant. This is more about the because moon is about attention setting and planting seeds. This is more like planning a vision of what it's like to be in a safe relationship. Like not just safe like for bland, but what is it like to be in a flourishing relationship with yourself and others? That's calling for like as how are you matched to a flourishing relationship? Are we building ecosystems in our lives and co-creating with others to and to not only to invite in flourishing, communal and personal flourishing, both as a community and as people participate in multiple relationships? And this thing is called and what is the journey of that? So I feel like these cards, even though those words seem out of place, what I'm channeling through, what the gems to take with you is be willing to go through changes and tweaks and adjustments that's necessary for you to be capable of being a co-creator of of flourishing relationships within oneself and others. And how are you becoming a match to it, and how are the relationships being matched to you for actual flourishing to occur? Is what is calling for. If it's calling for the call to relational flourishing and the goal of relational flourishing, and how are we willing to unlearn and relearn things that will require us to not only fully show up for them, but to be a co-creator and collaborators with others to create flourishing relationships. And remembering the importance of creating a sense of flourishing in every level. And so that's what it feels like calling forth. And it's like you are capable of creating these. You're capable of creating flourishing relationships. You're almost clear. You're there. You have what it takes. You just have to be willing to go through a social and personal and social transformation to do this thing, the flourishing relationship thing, to not only create it but to be a match to it as well. So that is what is coming forth with these little three cards right here. And here, so that's what to carry with you is to carry you is that you are capable of creating flourishing relationships, and you're aware of going through the challenges that come with developing that and expand yourself from that, than to just not go through that at all. So that is the message. That is what's coming through, and we can transition out. Usually have a poem to read, but today a poem hasn't come to me, so we're not gonna do a reading, a ritual for that to close. But I want to say like thank you everyone for listening and for showing up, or whoever's watching, whoever's listening. I enjoy these, and this is a great way to start a new year. We can instead go to like what to say, of the gratitude that I get to still do this. And so here is, if you like this, if you wanna, here's a few things. Number one is that if you're interested in a personal reading, like you click on the tree link or my website below to book a reading with me. If you're called to it and if you're compelled at it, you can book a reading, and it's for helping people going through transition in their lives right now. So that which is really the fun journeys, and need to reflect on journeys of life, as well as going through shifts and transitions. So that's really the readings that I focused on. And that's more of my medicine. So if you want that medicine, you can book that. You could book, there are options available. If you're not sure, you can book a clarity call and whatever. If you want to give tips, let some tip love, and you want to show love through, donation. Here, the donation link to my PayPal link is also in the description, so you can go and click there. There will be in upcoming months some more, besides these readings, some more videos on the development of how the business is developing and what's showing up for me and what is showing for Estuary Muse as an enterprise, and what I'm learning from this and what I'm learning from this experience, and as well as some cool transmissions that are going to come to it. So there will be more videos to get to know the business, to get to know the enterprise, to get to know me and the enterprise, and the themes that are, as well as the themes and that the enterprise, as it's growing and as I'm growing, will be called forth to be expressed through the YouTube channel. So in upcoming months, there will be weeks to months, depending on of a lot of things that happen in my life. I will make them. There will be some. That's really it. And last but not least, and just as important, but I didn't say this for last, but just as important, I am building my one-on-one journeying package. And this process is exciting. It may take a couple more weeks, it may take a couple more months, but it depends on the spirit of the offering. And there's technically two. There's a 2-week one and a 6-week one-on-one. And it is stepping into like helping people with crossroads and vocation related things and as someone who is going through a spiritual direction certification at the moment, and practicing it through these offerings, I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, because because there's more to be developed and refined, and I want to deliver the best beta version for first, and respect the spirit of the offering, how it wants to come out. So it will be ready when the spirit offering feels like wants to show up, and when I am at a place where it's ready to be seen. So that's Simon coming up. So I will update. So I want to say now the announcements are done, and I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. And I'm grateful that I can show up whenever I'm called to. And like I don't take it for granted, and I say thank you. Thank you, and have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. God bless.